Good morning, I am Miss Molly, and today we are going to start our first actual book review. Now, because it is January, the month of new beginnings, I thought that an appropriate book would be Room by Emma Donoghue. It's not The Room, it's just Room. That's what it's called. Now, before we jump in, I should add a warning. This book deals with some heavy topics, including kidnapping and rape. If you are sensitive to those topics, you should just be aware that they're in here. There is no swearing. There are a couple points where the anatomically correct names of certain body parts are used, not in any sort of swearing way, just in a passing manner. So if you're offended or sensitive to topics like that, yes, just be aware. Those are in this book. Now, one more thing before we jump in. I've got some notes over here to my side. So if you see me looking down a lot, I'm nervous. I want to make sure that I have everything in that I want to include. Okay. First things first, I want to talk a little bit about the author, Emma Donoghue. Now, she has a website, emmadonoghue.com, where we learn things about her, such as she was born in Dublin in 1969, and she currently lives with her family up in Canada, so she's probably very nice. Sorry. She's written many books, including historical novels, contemporary novels, short story collections, literary history, and 2 anthologies that span the 17th to the 20th centuries. So she's had quite a bit of writing experience. Now, about the book itself, Room. Room was shortlisted for the Man Booker and Orange Prizes, and it has sold over 2 million copies. She adapted it into her first feature film, Room, directed by Lenny Abramson, which was nominated for 4 Academy Awards for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Director, Best Picture, and Best Actress. So, it sounds like, I haven't seen the movie myself, but it sounds like they did a pretty good job, which is pretty tricky when you turn a book into a movie. Usually they don't turn out so great, but alright. Now about the actual book itself, which I'm sure you guys are excited to jump into. The back blurb, I call it a blurb, just about what the book is about, which, first off, real quick, the back of the book is actually about the book. It's not a bunch of meaningless reviews, like 2-sentence reviews from people. I don't know if that bugs anybody else, but when I flipped to the back of the book, I wanted to know what it's about. Anyway, so this book. To 5-year-old Jack, Room is the world. It's where he was born. It's where he and his ma eat and sleep and play and learn. At night, Ma shuts him safely in the wardrobe, where Jack is meant to be asleep when old Nick visits. Room is home to Jack, but to Ma, it's the prison where she has been held for 7 years. Through her fierce love for her son, she has created a life for him in this 11 by 11 foot space. But Jack's curiosity is building alongside Ma's own desperation, and she knows that Room cannot contain either much longer. Room is a tale at once shocking, riveting, exhilarating, a story of unconquerable love in harrowing circumstances, and of the diamond-hard bond between a mother and her child. Now it's a pretty apt description for the book. Now, as it mentions, it is told through 5-year-old Jack's eyes. So the warning that I included at the beginning, the whole story is told through a 5-year-old's eyes, which is why nothing gets graphic or, in my opinion, too offensive. Because Ma, that's her name in this book, she does everything that she can to protect her son from anything that might harm him physically or mentally or psychologically. If you don't mind, I'm going to read the first just a little bit, so that way you can get kind of a taste of what the book is about. So, here we go. There's no pictures, so I was going to show you pictures. There's no pictures. Today, I'm 5. I was 4 last night, going to sleep in wardrobe, but when I wake up in bed in the dark, I'm changed to 5. Abracadabra. Before that, I was 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. Was I minus numbers? Mod is a big big stretch. Up in heaven. Was I -1, -2, -3? Nah, the numbers didn't start till you zoomed down. Through skylight. You were all sad till I happened in your tummy. You said it. Mom leans out of bed to switch on lamp. He makes everything light up. Whoosh! I shut my eyes just in time, then open one a crack, then both. I cried till I didn't have any tears left, she tells me. I just lay here counting the seconds. How many seconds? I asked her. Millions and millions of them. No, but how many exactly? I lost count, says Ma. Then you wished and wished on your egg till you got fat. She grins. I could feel you kicking. What was I kicking? Me, of course. I always laugh at that bit. From the inside, boom, boom. Ma lifts her sleep t-shirt and makes her tummy jump. I thought, Jack is on his way. First thing in the morning, you slid out onto the rug with your eyes wide open. I looked down at Rug with her red and brown and black all zigzag around each other. There's the stain I spilled by mistake getting born. You cutted the cord and I was free, I tell Ma. Then I turned into a boy. Actually, you were a boy already. She gets out of bed and goes to the thermostat to hot the air. I don't think he came last night after 9. The air's always different if he came. I don't ask because she doesn't like saying about him. Tell me, Mr. 5, would you like your present now or after breakfast? What is it? What is it? I know you're excited, she says, but remember not to nibble your fingers. Germs could sneak in the hole. To sick me like when I was 3 with throw-up and diarrhea? Even worse than that, says Ma. Germs can make you die. And go back to heaven early? You're still biting it. She pulls my hand away. Sorry, I sit on the bad hand. Call me Mr. 5 again. So, Mr. 5, she says, now or later. I jump onto Rocker to look at watch. He says 7:14. I can skateboard on Rocker without holding onto her. Then I whee back onto Duvet and I'm snowboarding instead. When are presents meant to open? Either way would be fun. Will I choose for you? Asks Ma. Now I'm 5. I have to choose. My finger's in my mouth again. I put it in my armpit and lock shut. I choose now. She pulls something out from under her pillow. I think it was hiding all night invisibly. It's a tube of ruled paper with a purple ribbon all around from thousands of chocolates we got time Christmas happened. Open it up, she tells me, gently. I figure out how to do off the knot. I make the paper flat. It's a drawing, just pencil, no colors. I don't know what it's about. Then I turn it. Me! Like in the mirror, but more. My head and arm and shoulder in my sleep t-shirt. Why are the eyes of the me shut? You were asleep, says Ma. How did you picture asleep? No, I was awake. Yesterday morning and the day before and the day before that, I put the lamp on and drew you. She stopped smiling. What's up, Jack? You don't like it? Not when you're on at the same time I'm off. Well, I couldn't draw you while you were awake, or it wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Ma waits. I thought you'd like a surprise. I prefer a surprise and me knowing. She kind of laughs. I get on Rocker to take a pin from Kit on shelf. -1 means now there'll be 0 left of the 5. There used to be 6, but 1 disappeared. 1 is holding up Great Masterpieces of Western Art No. 3, The Virgin and Child with St. Anne and St. John the Baptist, behind Rocker, and 1 is holding up Great Masterpieces of Western Art No. 8, Impression, Sunrise, beside Bath, and 1 is holding up The Blue Octopus and the crazy horse picture called The Great Masterpieces of Western Art No. 11, Guernica. The masterpieces came with the oatmeal, but I did the octopus. That's my best of March. He's going a bit curly from the steamy air over Bath. I pin Ma's surprise drawing on the very middle cork tile over bed. She shakes her head. Not there. She doesn't want old Nick to see. Maybe in wardrobe, then? On the back? I ask. Good idea. Wardrobe is wood, so I have to push the pin an extra lot. I shut her silly doors. They always squeak, even after we put corn oil on the hinges. I look through the slats, but it's too dark. I open her a bit to peek. The secret drawing is white, except with the little lines of gray. Ma's blue dress is hanging over a bit of my sleeping eye. I mean the eye in the picture, but the dress for real in wardrobe. I can smell Ma beside me. I got the best nose in the family. Oh, I forgetted to have some when I woke up. That's okay. Maybe we could skip it once in a while, now you're 5? No way, Jose. So she lies down on the white of duvet, and me too, and I have lots. So that is the first little bit of room. when he says he forgot to have some in the morning, I forgot to mention this. When he says he forgot to have some, even though he is 5, his mother still breastfeeds him. So that's what he means when he has some. It doesn't get graphic. That's about as graphic as it gets. And it took me a few pages in to kind of figure out that's specifically what he was talking about. So, sorry, that took a little longer than I expected. Now, a few parts about the book that I actually really like. The whole thing is told from that perspective. The perspective of 5-year-old Jack. The whole world is told that way. Which, for the first bit, his whole world is room. That's it. He doesn't know of anything else that exists. He only knows himself and his mother. He has a TV, but he doesn't think that they're real. That's just TV. So, it's just him and his mother. She tells it through, he has a train of thought throughout the book. It kind of just follows Jack's train of thought. But Emma Donoghue does a really, really good job at giving us important pieces of information where Jack just kind of skates by them, but they're given to us so that way we can understand the world through our own minds. So that way we can picture and paint the world in our minds. I gotta mention that the character development throughout the whole book is absolutely amazing. There is a bit of a heroic act through a certain part of the book, a heroic act that Jack must perform as a 5-year-old. Now, he is a very intelligent boy. His mom has spent a lot of her time teaching him. In the mornings, they exercise as best as they can in an 11 by 11 foot furnished space, but she exercises with him as best they can. She bathes him every day, they wash their clothes, she keeps him clean, and she works with him on his math and his vocabulary as best as she can. Obviously, in one teeny tiny room, held captive in that room, it's pretty difficult, but he's very, very smart. Now, that being said, he's still only 5, so when the time comes for this heroic act, he acts like a real 5-year-old would. In my mind, I'd never seen a 5-year-old in this situation, but in my mind, he acts the way a real person would. He's terrified. He is legitimately crying, but through a miracle, he succeeds in this act that he has undertaken. I don't want to give too many spoilers, for the book, because it's so good, and I want you guys to go out and read it yourselves. And throughout the book, it portrays Ma and Jack as real people, not as superhuman creatures that magically survived this hell that they've gone through because they're superhuman. No, they are portrayed as real people, and they change over the course of the novel. And it's really amazing to see the change. It's subtle. There are bits of foreshadowing throughout the book, so when you go back and you read and you go, oh, this is setting up for this next part in the book. So the foreshadowing is really good. And I could honestly go on and on, especially about how Old Nick comes into play. I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that Old Nick is the kidnapper, so he's not a good guy. Which we know this from the very beginning, but even though Jack doesn't really see anything, he's never seen Old Nick. So even though Jack doesn't ever see or hear anything explicit, we are told just enough information that we know just how much to hate him, honestly. And he is a really well-written character. He's a good character in that he's believable, and that he accomplishes his purpose, and his purpose is to be hated, honestly, because he is a he's a kidnapper. Like, that's the long and the short of it. Anyway, so I think this video has gotten quite long. I've gotten quite ranty. In conclusion, Room is an amazing book. It will change the way you see the world around you. It will give you a newfound appreciation for your freedom, for the people in your life. You're gonna want to go hug a person, maybe go hug a dog after you read it. It's one of those books that you put down and you go, wow, I need to think about that before I go and wash those dishes, because you're gonna need to wash dishes. You won't have put it down until you finish it. Okay, yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you for reading with me. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I will see all you guys next time. Alright, before I go, real quick, sorry, last minute thing. Please, this is my first review. I get that it's really long. I see my timer right up there. You can't see it, but I see it. I've been going on 16 minutes. Please let me know what you like about this video. Please let me know what you didn't like, what I could include. I get that I got a little bit ranty. Maybe I could structure it differently. Just let me know. Also, if you have book suggestions, leave them to me in the comments below. So that way, maybe in the future, I'll have a different read for myself. Give this video a thumbs up so you can let me know that you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. Ring the bell. YouTube likes that stuff. I mean, because the subscribe button doesn't always work. Anyways, I've been ranting long enough. Thank you and goodbye.